to Felix Gretarsson, who made medical history after undergoing the world's first double arm and shoulder transplant in an utterly gruelling but incredible 15-hour operation.
Yeah, his recovery has amazed doctors. He's now able to use both of his arms, a sensation he'd missed for over 2 decades. Here's Charlie Frost with the story.
20 years since their last embrace, Felix Gretarsson hugs his daughter. The last time he was able to hold her in his arms, she was 3 months old. Shortly after she was born, he was electrocuted whilst working as an electrician in Iceland. Trying to fix an overhead cable, he suffered severe burns. He had to have both arms amputated to save his life. The same year Felix had his accident, doctors performed the world's first hand transplant, an operation which has become more routine ever since. But until now, it had never been done with arms. In 2021, after waiting for the right donor, Felix had the groundbreaking surgery in France. 18 months on, he's still there, rehabilitating, but his progress has defied all medical expectation.
There is a little bit of strength starting to come here.
Felix can now move his elbows, wrists and fingers and is able to brush his teeth, walk his dog, give Iceland's president a high five, and most importantly, he can hug his grandchildren and hold their hands.
It's just extraordinary, isn't it? Felix and his wife Sylvia join us now. Felix, there are a few words, aren't there, that really conjure up the extraordinary nature of what you've been through and what you're still going through and what you're doing with, you know, your situation. First of all, we had better have an update on how things are going. I mean, how are things feeling in your new arms and hands now?
Well, I am feeling everything. I have feelings in every finger,
wow.
In the hand. It's not fully developed. I was sweeping around the pool the other day and I didn't realize when I got blisters until I saw the blood on the sweep. So,
wow.
You know, it's...
So the skin maybe isn't sickening as well.
The nerves are connected here somewhere under the collarbone. And the nerves, they kind of grow inside these tubes. Wow. So they connect my tubes to the donor's tubes. And the nerve inside the donor's arm, they just dissipate with time. And then mine start to grow inside there. So it starts obviously from here. So in the beginning, there was came a little bit strength in the biceps and the triceps on the back. And obviously the hand is the last, and also the hand is the most complicated because there are so much nerves, so many little muscles. So I am able to almost close a fist on the right side.
Amazing.
I can flicker them a little bit on the left, but that's actually where they did partially the shoulder also. So it's normal that it's higher and slower. And yeah, I'm.
It's amazing. It's amazing, and those sort of practicalities are fascinating and will be fascinating for anyone who's dealing with mobility issues, not just the extreme case of you, because it's not. So you have a transplant, but it's not as instant as going right. The nerves that are in the arm I've got and the hand I've got suddenly work with my body. Your own body has to grow the nerve connection through the arm.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Does that just happen, or how do you encourage it to work?
Well, you know, the nerves grow, and but they usually grow around 1 millimeter per day.
Yeah.
And the calculation was that with that speed, they would reach the hand or the fingers in 2 years.
Yeah.
But they were in the hands after 9 months.
Wow.
And so there are these big, I think it's 3 main nerves that grow in, but then there are the branches that go out. And that's taking, you know, the time that I'm waiting now. But the main nerves are all in place. So
you're actually defying the medical expectation, which is one of the exciting things, I'd imagine, Felix, is that because this had never been done before, they didn't know whether it could work or what would happen. But what they are seeing with you, and undoubtedly you are incredibly diligent with your physio, you're doing 4, 5, 6 hours, 4 or 5 times a week to make sure your body gets retrained. But the potential that something like this is offering for you and for other people must be sort of incredible.
I know, and I get messages every day, and unfortunately, people asking me, how can I get this kind of operation? I'm not in a position to get anybody this operation, but then I am in a position to do what I can do to make sure that it's as successful as possible.
Yeah.
And because that's what the doctors around the world is looking at, is this a viable option?
Yes.
And
And you, every minute of the day, are proving that it is.
Yeah.
So far, and gets better than they could have even expected. Sylvia, you only met, didn't you, as a couple, after this all happened. So I can imagine the moment when he could hug you and feel that hug for both of you was so special.
Yes, of course. For me, I met him without his arms, so
Yeah.
I didn't have this need to have a man with arms because I loved him and accepted without arms. But to see the change in him to, he was born with arms, so he lost a lot. And to see him getting these things back, such as touch with his close one and with me, it's really amazing, and I'm really happy that he got there and that he's getting more and more. And for example, simple things like scratching yourself, we don't know until you are in his position. Very often it was like, can you scratch me here? No, to the left, to the right, a little bit up, down, and it's like I do my best, but still I can't
quite get the point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But now he can scratch himself.
Just like that. Just like that.
Yeah.
I wonder, Felix, because even watching you, we saw you walking your dog, we saw you brushing your teeth, you're moving your hand around, and you're starting to be able to close your fist. Has that, the miracle of that, do you still catch yourself doing it and thinking, this is so amazing?
all the time.
The wonder.
I'm in the middle of this, and I am blown away always to see. I mean, in the beginning, before the operation, I often thought, how is it going to be waking up with a dead man stitched to your shoulder?
Yeah.
It's. But 1-2 days into it, my blood is running in them. He's no longer some man. He's the man who gave me a chance of new life and saved countless other lives. It's.
Let's talk about that, because the
amazing.
transplant side of this is hugely important, and it's something you want to bring awareness to. A lot of people are keen to donate parts of their body. The idea of donating something as big as a limb, though, an arm or 2 arms in your case, is pretty rare, isn't it?
Yeah, and the thing is, nobody had ever heard about it. So when we were looking for donor, they were asking people on the worst day of their lives. By the way, can we take his arms also? And people just, because they've never heard about it. So the opportunity to be here and present this option, because if it continues to go like this will be an viable option for countless people. And that if people have just even had the discussion to the person sitting next to you, your loved one, what is your point of view about donating more than organs? And because I am white, medium-sized man in France, but it still took 5 years to find a donor. So can you imagine minority groups or other that it's difficult, but it can change so much.
And it's such
Do
an
they
important
feel
conversation.
like your arms now?
Yeah, they do. And like you talked about in the beginning, hugging my kids and my wife and stuff, I am in nature kinesthetic. I like to touch my surroundings, and after I lost the arms, it was like you're in a bubble.
Yeah.
You see, you hear, but you never touch anything. And I'm just hugging everybody now.
Well,
Man after my own heart.
we
I do
could
love a
talk
hug,
to you
Felix.
forever.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to shake your hand?
Yes, of
I'm
course.
nervous to do it. I don't want to do it, but that is allowed and that's good, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It's-
wow. That is a fantastic thing for me to do.
Yeah.
And wonderful that you can. I'm going to shake yours as well, Sylvia. You're both brilliant and wonderful and fascinating to hear your story.
I think we've got some pictures, some stills, sorry, of the transition before and after. I mean, even that look, folding arms, Felix, it's absolutely extraordinary. It's
You
like
can see in your
it's like
expression
something
how
out
it's
of a-
changed you, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
something
And
out
for
of
the
a
better.
movie. It's like something out of a science fiction movie.
Frankenstein.
No, science fact.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the point. What is there that you want to achieve that you haven't been able to do just yet?
Well, now I want to ride the bicycle.
Yes.
I want to ride. That's when you live in a big city, like you know that being on the traffic can be difficult. So riding a bicycle is something I really want to do, and it's a popular sport in France where we live.
Yeah.
I have a car that I drive with my feet, and hopefully I won't need that with the next car because it's expensive and complicated to change the car, to put the steering wheel in the floor. If you don't tell the Frenchies, I am secretly taking my foot off the steering and you know, trying it out a little bit, but don't quote me on that one.
Oh, my goodness. Well, look, I feel like there's no stopping you. So wonderful to meet both of you, and all power to your elbow, I feel I can say now, because, you know, it is just fantastic what you're doing and the opportunities you're opening up for so many others. Wonderful.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank
Truly
you.
inspirational.
Thank you very much
Felix, thank you
indeed.
for coming and sharing an amazing amount of joy and hope with us this morning, and you, Sylvia, as well. Continued good luck with whatever ends up happening.
Thank you.